Are you thinking about potentially buying land and building a home versus buying an existing home? Hey, I'm Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty Group, and I want to share a little bit about my personal experience going through this exact same debate with you. My wife and I were ready to make a move. We'd been in our house for 8 years and just decided, hey, it's time. Let's move to a new area. Let's experience a new lifestyle. And we were looking around at a lot of the homes that were on the market, and probably similar to you, you're probably like, I don't really love any of these homes, or even when I find a good home, it's sold before I can even get to it. So you know what, screw that. Let's just go buy a piece of land and let's build a home. So I'm gonna share a little bit about, again, my experience going through this. We actually did go out and tied up a piece of land. We found a piece of land in an area that we really liked, put an offer in, our offer was accepted. We were like, awesome, here we go, we're off to the races. And then that's when all the surprises started for us. So it's really important to understand what the timing looks like on doing this, what the cost looks like on doing this, and what the financing looks like on doing this. So this is going to be a heck of an experience for you if you've never done this before. So first and foremost, let's talk about the timing. Now, it's gonna vary depending on if you are in the county of San Diego or the specific city that you are in within the county, because they're all gonna be a little bit different. So I can't speak for all the cities or the county if it's in county property. So I can't speak for everybody, but I can give you a general idea where, let's just get down to the bottom line. If you buy a piece of land and your goal is to build a home on that piece of land, based on today, here in late 2021, and I don't expect this to change anytime soon, you're looking at a minimum of 12 months before you could even break ground. Before you could put a shovel in the dirt, you're looking at 12 to 18 months just to get started on the construction of that piece of property. And then you're typically looking at another 12 to 18 months to actually build that home on that piece of property. So you're looking at anywhere from 2 years to 3 years, realistically, from the time that you actually purchase this piece of land to moving into your new home. So you're gonna have to decide, is that gonna be in alignment with the thought that you had? Right? In a perfect world, we've all watched like Extreme Home Makeover, and they literally like tear a house down and rebuild it in a week. That is called television. That is not called reality. So be prepared, 2 to 3 years is probably a realistic expectation. Second thing you're gonna have to be prepared for is the cost of doing this. So here in San Diego County, you're looking at, on the low end, you're looking at approximately $250 per square foot to build. On the high end, if you want to do a custom home in like a Rancho Santa Fe or something like that, you're going to be in the neighborhood of $500+ per square foot. So let's think about this, right? If we want to buy a piece of land, which if you are in San Diego County, if you, let's even remove the deep, East County, North County, the rural communities. Let's say we want to be in a suburban area of San Diego County. You're not buying a flat and buildable lot for less than $500,000. You might be able to get something for less than $500,000, but odds are it's gonna be like on a canyon with a huge slope. It's gonna have some issues, whether it's access issues to the property, or it's going to be a massive amount of grading or structural work or all kinds of other things that are gonna be associated with getting that land even ready to build on. So let's just assume best case, you find yourself a nice lot for $500,000. Well, now you're going to have to add on the cost of building. Well, it seems like in today's world, 2,000 square feet seems to be about the minimum size that people are building today, and then we're kind of going up from there. So let's just run with that 2,000 square foot number. So best case scenario, you want to just build with, more entry level materials. You're gonna spend about $250 a foot times 2,000 square feet. You're gonna be at $500,000 for the building cost, $500,000 for the land. And now, oops, I forgot to mention that building cost, that is the house. That is not all of the driveways, the landscaping, the pool, the fencing, all the other things that are gonna come along with it. So depending on how crazy you wanna go there, it's California, we got beautiful weather, you probably want a pool. Well, the pool's $100,000 minimum today. And then all that other stuff, that's gonna be another $100,000 minimum. So at this point, you're already up to 1.2 million for entry-level materials. So I want you to think about when you've been out shopping for homes, what does a 2,000 square foot existing home sell for in that area? Is it north of 1.2 million or is it south of 1.2 million? So you might already be spending far more than what you could just buy an existing home for. And now let's make this even a little bit more confusing, or actually maybe give it a little more clarity, if I'm being honest with you, is the financing. If I want to go buy that existing home that's already built, I mean, if I've served in the military or I'm a veteran, active duty, I could actually buy that home with $0 down. Or if I'm even in a rural area, there's a USDA loan, $0 down. Or maybe, I haven't been in the military, but I still want to get it with the lowest down payment possible. I could do a 3 to 3.5% down loan on it. I've got a lot of options, and I'm going to get a pretty attractive interest rate when I come in and buy on that existing built home. Now, if I flip over and I'm buying land and then I'm building on it, more often than not, you're gonna end up needing to put at least 20% down. At least 20% down. And the key is you're gonna have to understand, if you get a loan where it allows you to buy both the land and finance the construction cost all into one, once the construction starts on the property, you're now having to make payments on that property while it's being built, while you're still living somewhere else. So now you got multiple payments that are going out simultaneously. So have I talked you out of buying land and building a home yet? I'm just sharing my experience. After we went through this whole process, we decided it was a no-brainer. Let's go buy an existing property. And in all honesty, the home that we live in today, if we were to buy a piece of land and build that identical home, it would have probably cost us 50% more and taken 2 to 3 years to get the exact same home that we live in today. So if you're thinking about it, maybe you can't find exactly what you want, but if you could check off 9 out of 10 things on your list, and maybe you can even spend a little money to check number 10 off the list after you buy it, I strongly recommend you look at buying an existing home versus going through the headaches and hassles of buying land and dealing with all the construction. Because also, as you go through this process, you have to make thousands of decisions. You got to decide, what door frame do I want? What width door? How many panels on the door? What doorknobs do I want? What hinges do I want? Like, the thought of making all those decisions is enough to drive somebody crazy. So I hope this helps. If you really want to explore these two options, maybe you got a piece of land you're looking at and you'd like for our team to help you analyze, should you buy this land or should you buy an existing built home? We'd love to be that resource to help walk you through those options. You can call or text us at the number down below. Our team will connect with you and help you explore those options to make sure you pick the one that's best for you and your family. I'm Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty Group. Thanks for watching.